Okay.
What's up, people? It's another podcast with Chuy and Guero. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Are you here? Are you in this
Fuck that shit
reality?
open. Yeah, a little bit.
Are you in this shared reality?
Fucking high as shit.
Oh man, how did that happen? We gotta find out who's responsible for this shit and do something, you know? Running around getting people high.
But maybe we're not high enough.
Too high. So this would be another podcast. We don't know what number yet because we gotta edit the rest of the shit. So we're gonna start the podcast with what? Chicken and beer. We go like this. Oh no, here's how it goes. The silly Tweety, the pinata. Okay. Patriarch of the Big Perspectives podcast. One of a kind. Custom pinata.
Oh, man.
Only here on Big Perspectives because we go all out.
Did Wheaties' eyes get redder, or am I tripping?
I don't know, man. I feel high anytime I sit around him, and I keep thinking, shit, he's gonna do something. Because he's all bug-eyed and shit, and just hanging there all the time. You know, like a smile, like, yeah, I'll fuck you up. Smoke me, I'll fuck you up. Alright, so, how goes your house hunting? How goes that adventure? You've been looking for a house for going on now, what, 4 or 5 months? You've been in the pit, battling everybody else?
Maybe a few months, but
Yeah?
yeah, it's getting a little better now, actually.
In what way?
That there's a lot of houses for sale,
But they're
and then they're still getting a lot of offers, but it's all like the
Kinda weak
same
offers.
or lower
oh,
than
so
asking price. So they're not
across the
offering
board,
more.
they're not like saying, "Oh, here's 40,000."
They're not shooting up anymore, and a lot of them,
Well,
I
that's
think,
good.
might not be appraising at what they're posted for,
Yeah.
because they keep coming back on the market.
I mean, still the houses are way overpriced anyway, but that's just the way everything's trended up. So, have you seen anything decent or?
Yeah, it's pretty
Where
good
at?
houses. I'm looking like in the Peoria area.
Peoria.
Peoria, North Glendale, just like around like maybe Cactus, 67,
Oh,
59.
yeah, pretty solid area, decent schools probably, huh?
Yeah.
Can you shoot off fireworks, the big ones there in the street?
No, because not many people shoot off fireworks there, period, so they'll probably call the cops
Because
on
you'd be
your
a
ass.
pioneer of the event.
Nah, I was trying to go there to get away from all that shit.
Oh, now I see your reasoning, or your motives.
Yeah, I'll just come around over here and shoot some fireworks and do some donuts.
Well, yeah. Somebody that
And then go back over
they
there.
got the weed eater cars popping and snorting all the way down the fucking street all night long, man. Fuck yes.
Come over here and hang out with the homeless people.
Yeah, homeless people in the park, whatever. Get your grocery cart.
Fuck, they have a lot of grocery carts, huh?
Dude, I don't know.
That's
Look, you know, part of
now
me.
I just
No.
clicked in my head just now.
No,
like
dude.
that's why there's no grocery carts when we go to the
Yeah,
Walmart.
not
because the
just
homeless people
that.
took 'em all.
Not just that. You look at all the shit they pack in them, and they push them around everywhere, and you're thinking, a part of me wants to jump out and kick it over and just see what the fuck they got in there. What's worth pushing around in a cart all around the city on the
Like
fucking sidewalk?
Pushing a little
Just
mountain
fucking-
around.
Yeah, but for what? What is that? I get it. You're gonna seep or something like that, but I mean, it's just the younger dudes that can totally better themselves or nothing, and they make a conscious choice to live like that. You know, they're physically able and everything, and they're on a kid's BMX bike, and they got a backpack and a hoodie, and they're just picking at the ground and just seeing what they can
They look
scam.
pretty the fuck alive. fucking
They look
riding around
alive, but
bikes.
they're not. But they're not.
They're
They're
in a
not there
different
either.
reality or what?
They're in a different perception. They're almost like a subspecies because they don't share humanly thoughts or anything like that much. And the more and more that there's more and more out of there, and people want to say, "Well, it's an opioid thing. That's this and that." You can only blame that so much. I mean, because once it becomes there's enough people like that, then the ones that are on the edge or get kicked out of their house or anything, hey, they're like, well, everybody else does it. I'm just another one. And there's more, and there's more, and there's more. Now the whole town is drowning in them and shit, you know. I know some of them's got issues and everything else.
Since when did the fucking homeless population go up a shit ton?
Dude, it's been going up for a long time.
Steadily?
Steadily.
But it just blew up recently, right? Like with the
Yeah.
pandemic.
But you see, everybody's harder for workers and everything, and you see able dudes just sitting on the overpass, on the freeway, like a thing. Hey, yeah, give me money. It's a hard time. I'm just standing here, and he's going through thousands of cars. At the end of the day, shit in my pocket, $500. If you think about all the traffic that stops there in the morning, rush hour traffic, and in the evening, and he's posted up there.
And they don't even have to be taxed for that shit.
No, it's just that. It's like, if you're physically able, at least do it. How am I supposed to respect you and hand you all my shit when I had to do it and everything?
Well, at least there's some people that are like out there like with water bottles and sodas selling them.
Yeah, and if I see
shit.
that shit, if somebody's on the corner and they're selling fucking water bottles or soda, I'll fucking buy one real quick at a stoplight. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, but there's some people right there that
But
asking for money and then.
But it's
and
like
they're all like nice and trimmed and clean cut and shit, and just chilling asking for money, like.
they just want to buy that peel and shoot up, man. I don't know. It's sad no matter what. But if these people, they're not tapping into their own sense of self-survival because of it, and they just choose to live like that. I mean, what are you supposed to do? How much are we supposed to? Okay, now we want to give them a place to shoot up in. We want to give them all these. We want to do the needles and everything else. It's a sickness and everything else. But at what point are people gonna be responsible for themselves?
Right.
I mean, I get the whole humanity and be compassionate, and it's a disease and all that. But when is he gonna be held responsible for making a choice to live like that in the gutter or not? You know? And we're always gonna have the angle, well, we're gonna
some of them have a better time living like that.
Well,
than
you know
we
what?
do
And
living
maybe I'm
like we
wrong.
do.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there really needs to be a place or some type of deal where they can go and this place will place them in a job, a day job, where they don't got to get all dressed up or anything like that, and they can go work at some labor place, building pallets or something, and start like that as a starting point, to where they get enough money to rent an apartment or they better lives or something, somewhere to go do it. I'm not saying that these guys that are all living in the streets can just walk in a place, fill out an app, and get hired, but there's a lot if they just clean up. I mean, every place is desperate. Today when I was at the grocery store, I leaned up against this thing in produce because my dad and his wife was getting some stuff. I leaned against it, and it was against a stack of potato chips, like 50 bags of these weird potato chips made out of pineapples and shit. And I bumped into it like this, and the whole thing fell over, dude. And all the potato chips were all over the floor, right there in the bread section at Albertsons, right? And I'm like this, and I'm waiting for a dude to run up and say, "No, I got it. That's okay, sir." Nothing. And then nobody, and I'm standing there, the guilty one, like this, looking. And my dad just goes off, fucking vegetable shopping or whatever, and I'm like, "Fuck." So I had to bend over there and take about 10 minutes to restack all this shit, dude.
Fuck, you put them back.
Yeah, well, it was embarrassing because you couldn't just walk away like you spilled some water in a restaurant. There's fucking like 50 big bags of potato chips fucking spread out for like 12 feet. Everywhere, dude. I could have just left them like that. But the thing is, there's like two ladies in the dead, and I get it, they're short-handed, and I was like, and then I told myself, nah, these fuckers are short-handed. Just bite the bullet. I'm the dumbass that knocked them over. Because the thing I leaned against has wheels on it, and it rolls just like a cart. It's a big, giant freezer thing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They just stacked them up on that shit?
On the other side, they stuck up these cardboard boxes on the side of that thing, full of these bags of potato chips about this high, and when I leaned on that thing, it knocked them all over, whoosh, everywhere.
You fucking leaned on it?
I was tired, dude. My dad just getting in and looking at the coupons and shit when we got on the door. It was about 10-15 minutes, just like, and you know, I know I'm gonna be that age someday too, and I'll be the same damn way. But I realized for them, that's why they go to grocery stores and buy 3 things with coupons and shit. Because that's their way of getting out and getting around people and running into other old people here and there. I mean, what it's supposed to do is to sit home, you know? And get more weird and weird watching bad news and all that shit and just...
You were around the 60s too, huh? Yeah. Right? Well, I don't know. When was your dad around?
Fuck, I don't know. We're not supposed to talk about family on the show anyway because of legal liabilities and
Oh,
and
man,
the nature of our the origin,
I just kicked
the
our
nature
producer.
of our origins. What did you do?
I just kicked our producer.
God damn, what is he doing down there? The audio's up here.
I don't know.
Studio manager. You're the producer. You weren't
Oh, the
editing
studio
this.
manager.
That's the studio manager.
I got some bad coke, man. It was laced.
He's just thinking we're eating something. All right, so homeless. I don't know. I mean, I get some of it, but people that are able and willing to better themselves and just choose not to. I'm not saying to disrespect them or anything like that, but if they're not trying like everybody else is, you know, they're making that choice to be that way, to live that way, to put those needles in their legs and shit. You know? How can you feel so bad
Fuck, man.
when it's in their hands? That's why
They
we
seem
just gotta
healthy
all-
as fuck, man.
Yeah,
They're
I mean,
healthier than the normal people.
good clean needles or whatever. Fuck, I don't know. All right, so that's that.
That's the way to get healthy is fucking.
Okay, what do you know about Indians now, Chuy? You being from Chihuahua, your descendants.
I don't know anything
Your
about
descendants
Indians,
of
man. Whether I'm
paquime.
descendants or not, I don't
You
know
are.
anything. I need to do some
Dude,
research.
your mom was from there and everything. Look at Batavia in there.
Yeah.
They're Indian ladies from there.
So would you say I have Indian blood?
No, you got. Yeah, well, I would say so. You're descendants of something, some of that. You should have a blood memory at the very least of it, or something.
I don't have any kind of memory, man.
You smoked all that shit away, didn't you? What do you think of that, Weedy? Do you have anything to say on that? Yeah, that's what I thought. He agrees with me. Well, we got this pot over here. That's from the town where you're from.
This is from Chihuahua.
Yeah. That's from Casa Grande, Chihuahua. And it's amazing. They still know how to make it. There's people in the neighborhoods, not a bunch of them, just a handful. And they were going to show me if I went down there again, but it never happened. But this lady goes down. There's these rivers down there, the main river, and there's parts of it where you can get clay, special clay they use for pots. Because you don't just use any kind, and they know where to get different colors of it and different kinds of it. And they know how to get this clay that's like mud, right? And then they'll mix other type of dirts or minerals with it to do whatever they're gonna do, right? Because this is actual finish, all this shiny shit, and then they scribe the rest of this away with like a sharp nail.
Damn. So most of it is work on there.
Yeah, that right there took somebody. That I think he told me that took like a week and a half. That took a long time. It's a lot of work. But the thing is, they still know how to do that. And look how thin it is. Reach in there with your finger. It's a thin thing, and it's closed. So he made it like a coil, and he shaped it and everything. And not only that, it's amazing that they can make this type of tight shape, and then when they fire it, you know, when they cook it to make it hard, it doesn't crack or pop or get all fucked up because they did it so long, you know.
It's even signed.
Is it? I didn't see
It's
that.
signed at the bottom.
What's it say?
I don't know. Hilario.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But still, the guy that made this, that was the lady who makes it. That was her son who did that one, and you can tell he understands the old type of designing and stuff because he incorporates that a lot into this. Most of this original.
Some weird creatures.
These are creatures. If you go to the museum and stuff, you'll see they got a lot of different beliefs and a lot of different ways to draw stuff. Typically, if you see something that's coiled or something like a head or something of a guy, and if the guy has like a coiled giant thing like a snail shell on his head, that means he's like some kind of magician, or he knows how to. He's one of the guys that knows how to turn himself into other shit or do things. That he's aligned with other shit farther than just himself, you know. And this one, you could tell this guy, what he's trying to say with this guy is that the lightning's coming from the sky. You see, these are clouds up here.
Yeah.
And this is how paquime used to do their numbers and other things. They draw like feathers and have little dots on the ends of them. You see that in a lot of stuff. next time I'll show some of the drawings that I copied from artifacts down there. But this one has, see the lightning bolt coming down, and this is like a lightning serpent. This thing goes in here and turns into this. So it's an expression of energy actually. And you see the actual serpent here with lightning bolts on him, right?
Yeah.
That's a very rare type of design that traditional people making that down there wouldn't put a design like that. That's because a young dude that had imagination did it. And you could tell. I was gonna get this one or a rattle. They have a lot of them that have like a rattlesnake coiled around the whole thing on the outside, badass. But there's lots of them. They're not common, but this, when I seen this one, it's like, fuck, this one is original and shit. I mean, I like the design. It's badass. Okay, we got this antiques of the show. Show me this shit. This is the antique of the show. What do you think that is, Chewy? Is it to make mashed potatoes? Is it to split celery?
This.
Is it to hold big joints back in the day? Or is it to start some kind of motorized power bong system or something?
This was to.
A primitive pit.
For a well.
A well? To pump oil with?
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
No, you can tell it's rotary. Look at this. This right here is actually, and I got this out on my grandpa's garage, I think. This thing goes on the front of a Model T, the little buggy cars that look like a buggy, they pull behind the thing, but it's a car.
Yeah.
And the motors were little dinky like lawnmower motors. And the crank, where our crank goes, where our pulley goes, where the crank is, and it's connected with belts to the water pump, the alternator and all that. It didn't have that shit back then. It was just a thing, and to crank it, it had a magneto, so you had to crank it, the motor would start sparking and then light some of the gasoline and start up. So you had to crank it one way, and once it started, you had to pull it off. I think that it was spring loaded, that once it started, it had a clutch inside, so this thing didn't fucking take your arm off when you had your hand on it.
Oh, I heard that it did fuck some people, so it broke some people's arm. That like.
Starting probably because it got too much
Because it would
compression,
backfire
yeah.
and it would fucking shoot it back.
Maybe, I don't know. But
Because they said like you can have to like go like this and then kind of do it back.
But
like
for
that.
sure, you got to pull this off the fucking shaft after you start it. You can't just leave it on and fling it around. So what I'm saying is probably had a clutch on, or a thing on where it only goes one way, right? And it free spins the other way. So this don't take. So it's spinning, but it's not catching the other way. So you can so you can pull this off. Because how else can you pull it off? And they say we're just fucking. You never know. They did a lot of jackassery back then.
Yeah, especially if it backfired and it broke your hand.
And then you'd be walking around with one of these without a hand. You'd be called Hook Boy, and you'd be in all the hay fields.
Hey, what the hell are those for? You always see them in movies and shit and cartoons, but what are they actually for?
Or grabbing slabs of meat. No. These are hay hooks. You see them around. It is a hay hook, so they use when you're baling hay. So you got blocks of hay, right? And you got to move them. You're stacking them off your wagon or whatever into the barn, or you're unloading from the barn onto your truck to take them out to pasture to throw your cattle or your
Instead
horse.
of grabbing them, you just hook it and pull it.
Yeah, but you have two of these. So you grab them like this, and you hook both ends, and you lift like this. Or you can position it with one if they're on the top stack, you can grab it and pull it around. But they work good on people and meat too. If you can fucking stick it like that and yank
So these
somewhere.
aren't like at meat factories where they have
No,
big trolleys and you
there's
hook 'em
meat
and move
hooks.
'em around?
They're meat hooks, but they're a different design in this. These actually are
Found
for.
specifically for hay?
Yeah, they got other big designs that are made for grabbing blocks of ice and shit.
Oh shit.
Oh, there's some bad antiques. We gotta go back there sometime.
Indiana?
If we get enough support on this podcast and shit, we'll do a mobile podcast all the way back there and check some of that shit out.
Huh. Road trip podcasting.
Yeah. Getting high and pissing everybody off all the way there and back.
Maybe we should start some kind of funding site. I don't know how that works.
No, we don't want to do that right off the bat.
Go across Arizona first.
Okay,
Some
so.
Arizona fucking podcasting.
Yeah.
We should do that shit. We should go through Arizona and just fucking. different
I'd like to
places.
just go up nice
And
scenic
go 5
places
minutes
out on the top
somewhere.
of a mountain or somewhere in the back in the woods or something like that. If we went to Indiana, I know a lot of haunted places. I know a lot of places back there that are fucking creepy as fuck.
Indiana.